Yes, and hello, I'm Darth Leon and welcome to another session of the nominated for Game of the Year metaphor ReFantazio. I don't. Yes, I am Darth Leon. Uh, okay. This game was nominated for Game of the Year. It's not gonna win it, mainly because Balatro deserves it more, but it's also been nominated for um, what's the word? Best RPG, which honestly I feel should get this without having played any of the other RPGs, and best score, which I don't feel like this game kind of like doesn't size up with other Atlas games, but that's fine. Last time on Metaphor Fantasio, we did a small dungeon where we fought like a weird chimera thing, and we also wait. No, don't go into no, I was talking. Don't go back to the freaking cutscenes. Yeah, just bring me back. I don't. I wanna. I was just standing in the main screen. Is that like that big a crime? And like, yeah, we basically killed like two bosses. That's about it. And we are about to start on our next part of our journey, starting the next chapter of this game. Rest up until tomorrow, which was basically what we were supposed to do. Did people really just like rest up? There is no information to display. Seems like it. So we can like cook for
Don't push yourself too much.
tomorrow you depart. Maria will assuredly miss you dearly. So please come back and say hello when you can, even if it's only every once in a while. Okay.
What in the...
No, no, don't want to talk to you.
Fancy a bit of...
Any last intel we might care for? No. Alright. So, yeah, we're going to check in with Maria. We cannot check in with Maria. Okay, let's go have a sleep, I suppose. I have been thinking a lot about this game in the last week. Mainly what kind of archetypes my main character should have. We will discuss this if and when we actually get across like another dungeon. Okay, okay. But honestly, since like 2 days ago, I was like, I wanna play Metaphor. I wanna play Metaphor. Will in his diaper pants that he wears when he goes to sleep.
What's wrong?
Well, you're all leaving tomorrow, right?
Right.
I'll be cheering for you. So I just... Oh no. I promised Miss Fabian I wouldn't cry.
It's okay to cry.
It's alright. I won't tell her.
Papa was trying to stop a bad man, you said.
Yes.
And that's what you're all doing too, isn't it?
Yes. We are going to like go on a kind of roundabout way for it, but yes.
Please come back home safe. I'll be waiting here as long as it takes.
Wait for me.
I don't want to make any promises because last time we promised something to this girl,
Yeah,
her dad
I'll
died.
be waiting. The next time I see you again, can you tell me more about the outside world?
This one's important.
Promising returns. Maria is waiting for us to return home and regale her with tales of the strange and distant places we visit. I mean, there is no deadline, but we get a roast for it.
I never got a chance to say this to Papa. So,
Captain, may I have a moment?
Why did she stop spitting there?
good night.
I was hoping for a chance to speak before we set out.
Yeah, okay, what did you do wrong?
Since our meeting, I've done nothing but impose on you. Now you risk your very life for this cause. 'Tis no easy burden. It pains me to see. When I think of how this may yet save His Highness, I lose sight of all else. Such disregard ill becomes me.
You truly are devoted to him, aren't you?
I don't think like it's that big a problem what you're doing, to be perfectly honest.
I suppose I am at that. A guiding oath of
Nice smile
devotion
here.
is not easily cast aside.
Big smile. I like that.
But that book. We met once before, on a carriage bound for the capital. Do you recall?
I recall. I also recall you not going for the sword like as soon as you could. That's what I remember.
I remember your stunt getting me flung in the wastes.
My apologies. I thought only to minimize casualties, one way or another.
I thought only to minimize casualties, so you became the only casualty. That was acceptable sacrifices.
So, 'tis a novel envisioning an ideal world. Curious to see a utopian novel these days. I'd thought them long since banned. Ah, you needn't worry. I've no intention of taking it from you. I've sometimes wondered why such books were forbidden. Rumors say the Sanctists objected to their contents. Yet I wonder, how could a simple book have possibly stung them so? Do you mind if I read a passage or two? So, it is a fiction written as if a personal account.
This is about to get extremely bad depending on like what they're about to say, like considering current situations in the world.
This chapter seems to concern the system by which the nation's leader is decided.
Yeah, it's about to go real sour real
In
quick.
this country, one cannot become even a statesman, much less sovereign, without the consent of the people. Those who aspire to statecraft must first solemnly swear before the people what they will do in service of their country. Should they earn title but break their word, they are denounced and stripped of power. The authority of the people. In this way, it is the people who are the land's true king.
Yeah, but sure.
Quite the opposite of our own country. Now I see why our upper echelons would abolish such texts. Had our lands embraced such accountability, perhaps His Royal Highness would not have suffered such a fate.
His Royal Highness wouldn't have been in the position, probably.
No. As a knight, 'tis not my place to say. I must clear my head of these fantasies. In the end, clinging to a dream will do me no good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I suppose 'tis not so bad to dream now and then. It takes power to walk the path of our dearest hopes. Perhaps that is the purpose of this newfound strength.
What is the character of Halkenberg right now?
My dearest dream. 'Tis to save His Highness, even at the cost of my life. Nothing more.
Like, this lady just read about democracy and is like, wow, I wish I would bring in the benevolent dictator of this world. Like, come on, lady, what are you on about?
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Lusamine from Pokemon Sun and Moon?
Lady Juna!
Ah, never mind.
Far away sky.
Whoa!
Blue and clear, echo my wish, so that all may hear. One and all born to this land, as here we stand. Let us greet the rising dawn, hand in hand. Far away sky so clear.
God, I hope I don't get copyright stricken for that one. And yes, she's very pretty. She's very pretty, indeed. Alright, so... Stonehead? Her head will appear in the stone? No? Okay. Over-Unders is the next boss.
Even I'm feeling the heat. Well, I suppose it's time to fan the flames. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome one and all to the inauguration of the Tournament for the Throne! For the first time, the crown is anyone's to claim, as long as the aspirants can complete 3 grueling challenges.
Wow, a Sanctus Crier! He's perfect for this!
Let's discuss the venues. We kick off in the west, in the Pearl of the Coast, the Principality of Oceania's harbour city capital, Port Brilehaven. There,
Sorry?
they face their first challenge, the Exhibition of the Brave. Each contender must bring back the head of a monster, a mark of their prowess and courage. Next, our would-be monarchs head east. Upon the misty peaks, we arrive in the Principality of Montario's beautiful city of faith, Altaberry Heights. And finally, our heroes make their well-deserved return home to Grand Trad. But first, let's do introductions. It's time to meet those risking their lives for the crown.
Are we gonna get introduced as well?
Throne, I know him, you know him. It's Sanctism's one and only 78 Sanctifex, His Eminence, Forden!
Victory to Sanctifex Forden!
Okay.
I claim no great ambition, nor any heated calls to action. All I wish is to restore order for our people and to safeguard our land from the threats beyond. This chaos we face is but one of God's many trials. Let us restore our kingdom's glory together!
Moving right along, we come next to His Eminence's champion, the very spear in his hand, the warrior monk captain of the Crown Theocracy, Master Giddo!
I come before you only in loyal service of His Eminence. I relinquish the throne to him gladly.
Excuse me?
But those who would seize the crown by force, I will teach you to fear God and to fear me!
So much for this being a fair competition. How many horses do the Sanctus have in this race? Still, it's not over by far.
I mean, they're kind of splitting the vote, aren't they?
What cowardice, Crier! Where's Count Louise?
Right, all right, settle down. At this time, I can report that Count Luis has not applied to enter the tournament.
But that doesn't really matter.
What? He's not even entering?
Again, it doesn't matter.
What comes of us? Our entire purpose in this race was to get closer to him.
Don't worry. He's definitely paying attention. He's only in second as it is, so we can't afford to ignore this whole production. Sit tight. I'm sure he'll make a move soon.
All right, all right. For those Count Luis supporters, you might want to meet our next entrant. A rising socialite, a man of ambition, godless and fearless, the brash young warrior serving Count Luis, Gladel, the Black Hound.
Him? So he was one of Luis's men.
The fallen king embraced Sanctism and all its holy tenets, and for what? He was nothing before Lord Luis. Look to the sky all you wish. No god can save you! What our country needs is power! Well,
Did Luis only, like...
But let's get on with the introductions. The great liberal merchant, it's Roger
Luis
Moore.
only hires
By war,
goth
by
twinks.
conquest, by right, it's Rudolph Kraus. In it more for the gauntlet runners than the throne, it's Lena Caden. Sure to be popular by pledging free drinks for life. It's loveless O'Shea. Uplifting the beautiful and deposing the hideous, it's Milo Maurizio.
Wow. If we lose this, I think the country has some even bigger problems.
Now, I do believe we have one final candidate. Do we have an Elden boy present? Come on, let's see a face.
What? An elder? Disgraceful. Is this the only way you could think to distinguish yourself?
I mean, some of you guys must have seen me
By the way,
kill the
rider
human.
applied with still hasn't arrived. And if it doesn't show up by the time the noon bell rings, you're disqualified. All right?
Hey! What's going on?
That nitwit! What is he doing?
So, contestants,
We are already like with 1 foot behind.
What? Last, I say! Wait! Found your behave!
Is this our runner?
A land runner? It's quick! Wait, it's headed right for the... It'll crash!
whoa!
Yeah, that's our runner for sure.
What the heck is that?
Wonderful. So much for a first impression.
What ho? Isn't she a marvel, chums?
You dolt! You nearly brought down the cathedral! Have a care, you buffoon. 'Twas bad enough when Luis did it the first time. That feckless, shameless old fool.
Not bad, kid. Guess you've got some interesting tricks up your sleeve after all. Right! I'd call that a full roster.
He's already got, like, he's decided his vote here.
Go! Prove yourself worthy and earn your crown! For the people, for the throne! Let the games begin!
Alright, so now we have our cast of jobbers.
We must take to the road.
Come on, come on! So fast! Gotta hold on to something or I'll get blown up!
It's incredible!
Well, just being there increased our popularity, that's nice. I ended up standing out more than I expected. I've gained a lot of interest, but I only consider this a part of my mission to aid the prince.
Just a sec.
Whoa, what is this thing? This is our carriage?
Can you hear me?
Alright, so let me find a voice for this guy. Ah, shall I just run here along the main road then? The others seem to be doing as much. You're just as crazy as this runner. I'll take that as a compliment, little lady. Now, let's have some coordinates for a little test run. What is happening right now?
Let's see.
We wanna go to the place called Martra? Old Castle Town, I think. Should be way south. Alright. 4 stops for some reason. Yeah, go for it. Well, yep.
This place here. This place here.
Let's...
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
Okay, he doesn't really
This
care for
place
it.
here.
Wow!
Yeah, okay, Martyra. Here it is. Down to Martyra, eh? Oh, this craft's legs. I'd say that will be 4 days, 3 nights about.
Oh.
4 days and 3 nights. That's a great deal faster than a carriage. And surely the roads will be safer at that kind of speed. Very good. Now, since this bridge is up, full steam ahead to Martyra, Old Castle Town.
This is amazing! I don't know a thing about gauntlet runners, but even I can tell this is a hell of a craft.
Apparently it's like a runner.
I can hardly believe she's ours to drive.
You're telling me, lad? Feels like ages since I've been out on the open road. This girl's been waiting long enough for her time to shine.
So this is what you use to talk with the driver? Convenient, that. Look, old fellow, are you really on our
Old
side?
fellow?
You realize we don't have funds to pay you.
Money? Ha! I'm not in this for the money, boy. What I want is a little gusto. What do you think, lad? Isn't this a rush?
It is at that. Like riding the wind.
That's the ticket. It's been so long since I've had a good chinwag.
Chinwag?
Brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing.
I love how the other two choices were like, no, this is shit, and like, I don't care, I don't like this. Like, I had the chance to be very mean about this.
You've a good head on your shoulders, boy. Yes, I can tell you're a sharp one. Where to, ladies? The world is our shellfish.
We already said where to.
You certainly are a different person behind the wheel.
Hey, Hulkenberg! Can we get an explanation yet?
That man is Nuris. An Ishkia, if 'twas not obvious from the wings. And despite everything, he was heir to a noble house and personal machinist for the royal family.
Okay, I see. Ischia. So, Brigitte must also be an Ischia, right?
What?
He's a master engineer, of course, positively peerless. But as you can see, the runners get him a bit excitable.
I love how, like, his hair is also aerodynamic. Noble District Underhall.
Nuris? Are you there? I'm coming in.
Oh, he must be the machinist or the gunner or whatever.
I find you buried in your work.
Too much to do.
As always. To business then. I must ask a favor. Would you be able to ready a carriage for me?
No new commissions. No time for them. Ask another right.
It is not a new one I require. Before His Highness disappeared, did you not accept a contract to build him a custom carriage? Without a formal owner, I reasoned that it must now lie unused. I was hoping I might borrow it a short while.
But pish and tosh, woman. She is for royal use and naught else.
I mean, it's for almost royal use.
'Tis an unreasonable request, I know. But I'd not be asking without a grave need. Might I at least see it?
I mean, well,
'Twas specially made for His Highness, yes? Not a work you'd have sold off. Where lies it now?
I've deadlines to meet, dash it. Off with you now. Leave me be.
You've been acting stranger than usual. What ails you?
Whoa!
Alright.
Good God. Is this a gauntlet runner? The very craft commissioned for His Highness the Prince? Even knowing His Highness was gone, still you toiled away. Oh, Nuris, you are an inspiration. Such nobility of purpose.
Yes. Right.
Alright, where's the catch?
However, for a craft meant for the royal family, it is rather excessive, isn't it? Did you really build this vehicle exactly to their orders? You cannot mean...
Well, at first, certainly. I followed the blueprints exactly. But then His Highness died, and... well, I couldn't just let the old girl waste away. A masterpiece like her? Collecting dust in storage? No! Unacceptable! Unthinkable!
So he basically made it a runner for racing or something.
I'm working toward a dream. And this poor old girl is going to help me see it through. And then, finally...
You imbecile! A lowly, brazen court engineer butchering His Highness's inheritance for a hobby! For this...
Mercy, please! Look, take my head if you must, milady. But leave the Balliol runner alone.
Look, this runner... 'Tis fully operational now, is it? Then I suggest you cooperate, for both our sakes. Finish your tinkering by tomorrow and bring it to the Grand Cathedral as soon as you can.
Eh? What's all this now? You play the proud soldier at me and then pluck it for your own schemes?
'Tis no scheme. I would use it for His Highness's sake.
For His Highness, eh? Hold a tick. Haven't you been looking for him? Wandering across God knows where last I heard? So if you're back now and now you want a gauntlet runner for His Highness? Is His Highness still alive? That's it! I've got you, haven't I?
'Twas His Highness who gave you refuge while you were only a heretical scholar condemned by the Sanctists. The time has come to repay His mercy.
Wait, the child prince... The child prince gave him refuge?
Understood.
Is that enough? Can this old duck really handle an undercover operation?
I know what you're thinking, but 'tis at least true that he feels an undying debt of gratitude to the royal family.
Pish and tosh, boy. A little faith. Not to brag, but this old duck's craft might be the fastest gauntlet runner in the kingdom. Why, probably the world.
Giving us quite the advantage, too.
I think. Maybe.
I mean, okay, that's fine.
How encouraging. All I want is to push this runner as far and as fast as she can go. Show her off to the world. And you? Well, I presume you'd rather work together than have to walk, eh?
I don't know about this, but I guess we'll just have to trust him. What do you think?
I mean, kind of late to make this question.
I think we can count on him. If you're sure, I suppose. We'll deal with it if we have to.
Either way, he knows the prince is alive, so we can't just leave him to his own devices. We're all in the same boat. Or runner, I guess.
You lot can handle the fighting, and I'll handle all the driving and grease work. Just make sure you've got a proper plan for all this mess now.
This guy's got no filter. But he has a point.
He didn't even say something mean. Like, I don't know what's your problem with him.
So, summing up. Our first trial is to slay a monster. We take its head as proof, then get it to the goal line before the deadline. The bigger the head, the better. Our destination is Port Brilehaven, the capital of the Western Principality of Oceania. It'd be a trek on foot, but this gauntlet runner should make it a snap.
So getting the bounty's head is our next move. And our target is a nefarious criminal who's been kidnapping and selling off children. Right?
And now Hackenberg gets to hear this for the first time.
A criminal? Did the task not specify a monster's head?
Don't worry, all part of the plan. We don't need to win this thing. We just need to get Luis's attention. Everyone's going to show up with monster heads, and we shake things up with a felon. A knight-turned kidnapper at that. Shows them we're there for justice.
But to deliberately violate the rules, we risk being disqualified entirely. Then again, 'tis just as likely to win the people's attention and thereby Luis's. I do understand the intent.
Okay, that's interesting.
What do you think of this plan?
I mean, we're doing it, aren't we?
I trust all of you completely.
Good enough for me. A captain's got to trust his crew, after all. The bounty's Heismay, an ex-knight. I realize that's a little close to home, Hulkenberg, so if you'd rather hang back...
No. His title is precisely why I cannot let his atrocities stand. And yet, 'tis strange indeed that we are hunting a mere man when the trial demands a monster.
I mean, we don't have anything to prove. We've killed like 4 monsters. If anything, like, we should have taken the head of the freaking Minotaur.
Then again, our true aim is beyond the ambitions of any other aspirant. Our fate rests in this plan of yours, Stroll.
Alright, let's talk about something else. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 chairs. Like, everyone is sitting in their own like part of the table, so it feels to me like they're kind of preparing this stage for like 7 people, 7 party members.
Thank you. I'll try to ensure your trust isn't misplaced.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chairs. All right. Oh, that's nice. 7 people.
Good to know. We can always look around more thoroughly later.
Yes. You needn't tire yourself out before we arrive.
Well, I'm a tinkerer and not much else. All my fighting happens in the old workshop. But I'll take you wherever you're going for your sake and mine. After all, the wilds out there are no berry picnic. Oh no. It's a den of wild beasts and savage scoundrels. And we'll not get past it without days on the road together. So, if you need anything besides a steady hand on the wheel, give me a hoot. Bound to find me in the cockpit or the engine room.
He's certainly an eccentric, but he doesn't seem like a bad person. We'll get used to him, I suppose.
Gallica, you don't have to be mean. The Gauntlet Runner. The Gauntlet Runner has various areas for different activities, such as the strategy room, the lounge, and the kitchen. You can also visit Academia finding more and interacting with him. Let's visit the engine room first. Take your time and have a look around on your way there.
Oh yeah?
I've never been in a Gauntlet Runner. Kinda wanna see what the engine room's like. Okie doke. Well, we shall, but let's speak with our friends first. The runner makes a smooth ride at least. Eccentricities aside, he certainly earned his title as a court engineer. That said, I'm more concerned about the unseen workings. I do hope he hasn't made any dubious additions. A carriage can begin to compete with the Gauntlet Runner's speed. I suppose they've earned their reputation. That I'm in constant fear of losing my lunch is far from ideal, but once I'm used to it, I'm sure the journey will be pleasant. Alright, so, what is this? A round table. There's a map showing the area surrounding the destination Martira.
Let's see here.
I wonder where we're at right now.
It's a campground.
And there's
It's a campground.
a campground. Which one?
It's a campground.
Which one? Let's and there's a campground. Let's see.
Alright. I mean, it's more than a car, surely. Like, you could say... It's basically a land boat. It enforced steel on top of the thick glass. It doesn't appear to be easily breakable. Okay. I mean, it's probably gonna break, surely. Right. So... This is my bed? This is my bed. Avatar, the movies or the show? Alright, so the kitchen here. It's a kitchen. I can prepare meals here. Why would it remind you of Avatar the show? Maybe, I guess they did have like a blimp in the Korra show, I suppose. Well, Mor is here. I don't feel like speaking with Mor right now, so... What's this? Upright cleaning tool. Maybe not now. Alright, don't wanna clean, huh, Will? Okay. I did something with my mic, did I? Maybe, like, is it lower, is it different? Well, what's up? Is this, like, better? Okay. Alright, it feels like I'm in the red very often. Let me take it down, like, slightly. Alright. I took it down slightly, but I don't want to be constantly in the red. Alright, so the engine room should be here, right?
This?
I wonder what makes this thing run.
Hello?
First time on a Goblin Runner, eh? Whoa, that scared me. Looks like that pipe's in here too. Call the runner phone. There's one in every room. Now, I believe I heard you speculating on the old girl's inner workings. Call the runners use microcrystals to fuel the run, you see. Used to be you take your... What? Used to be you take your life in your hands when you travel the wilds. Then, thanks to the kingdom's greatest minds, the Golden Runners was born. The runner's actual legs are based on the colossal beasts, made for zero momentum loss, even on the roughest terrain. Also, I love how even the runner has like a heart. That's like the main theme of the game. Even the runner has a heart. Among other things, I've modified the craft with a bit more zip and speed. Another step closer to a dream. What dream? Long story, my girl. Best told to captive audience with no plans to the next day for a few days or nights. Never mind then, maybe some other time. Anyway, still plenty of the old gear that's a work in progress. But by the time I'm done, she'll have some new tricks. You just watch. It'll be the sunset before long, so start thinking about bedding down for the night. Can't run on the dark, and the old girl needs her rest as much as we do. Gondola running activities. You continue towards your destination while spending some time on the gondola runner. Utilize the facilities to obtain items, raise abilities, or do other things that you wouldn't be able to do in town. Try using the kitchen, reading books in the bookshelf, or using the washing machine. More activities will become available over time. You can also spend time with your allies while traveling, which may help you improve your virtues. At the end of the day, the choice is yours. Okay. Yeah, okay. So I understand what they're talking about. So we can do some chores, which I suppose will have like some kind of outcome. Let's just see what people did. Let's just see. Alright, so nobody spent time with supporters, which is kind of weird. And everyone else did something. Let's read from the bookshelf. That's what I would rather do right now. I know, nerd shit, but hey, Halkenberg.
Speaking of,
Yura said he got the kitchen up and running. If you're hungry, would you fancy a meal? I highly consider myself a chef of any great skill. Pastoral said he wanted to try some of the recipes he learned in the Hast Honeybee. Alright. Where is the bookshelf? I'm guessing here. Oh, the kitchen and the... Oh, look! Look at the kitty cat! Look at the kitty cat in the picture! Can we get any closer looks? No, we can't. I love his little mustache. It's Mona. I mean, it's not exactly Mona. He's a much more distinguished gentleman than Mona. Mona is like more of a rapscallion, isn't he? But it's not far off, yeah. And I love that the kitchen, that's what I was saying before I was distracted by the cat. I love that the kitchen is connected with the bookshelves. The bookshelf is lined with interesting books. The books I could read are New World Travel Diary, Pride and Persuasion, or nothing at all. Pride and Persuasion? The book outlines useful conversation techniques for convincing others. Okay, I haven't started it yet. Nura's probably left it here, huh? Let's take it over to the window if you want to read it together. If I read this, I may gain more eloquence. So we'll spend some time reading the book. Let's see what the other option is. New World Travel Diary. This appears to be a fictional chronicle of a boy's journey in a fanciful place called the New World. I haven't started reading it yet. Seems like a book that will expand the mind. Want to read it together over by the window? The imagination. I suppose give me eloquence. Yeah, okay, thank you. Thank you, please. Yeah.
What's that?
Apparently this book teaches you ways to ensure others will agree with you. The section is part of the basics. Oh, didn't catch that one. Okay, for viewers on YouTube, Happy over here is saying that the title of this book is A Mixture of Pride and Prejudice and Persuasion. Both are books from Jane Austen. I didn't know that. That's nice. I guess it does follow the parodies from Persona where... No, it's not a coincidence. As I was like... In Persona... do you remember how movies and comics had like fancy titles on based on other things? Like you would go watch a movie and it would be the Baker Man, their freaking door rises or something, and it was just like a parody of Batman. So yeah, it's probably again a mixture of those things as you say. First impressions are vital when it comes to negotiations. Okay, I guess that's true enough. Lower the other person's guard by assuming a natural smile and humble demeanor. Then use flattery to probe for weak points. Probe for weak points?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. To exploit them without mercy. To ensure they don't have a chance to think.
You're kidding.
So you strike their weak points and then negotiate while they're still reading from it? That's just brute force, huh? I feel like studying the art of persuasion has slightly increased my eloquence.
Alright.
I'm surprised. I guess a bit of force can go a long way in helping negotiations go smoothly. There's still more left to read in this book. I'll pick it up from here next time.
The Gauntlet Runner arrives at the desert camp as the scorching sun sinks below the horizon, and the curtain of night falls over the land.
Oh, sorry. I thought I had to actually, move on the conversation. Desert camp. Establishing an encampment at the night in the vast wilderness outside town is the vast wilderness outside town is ensconced in darkness. Forcing your way through the unmarked terrain is very dangerous, even with a stalwart gauntlet runner. I cannot read apparently. Instead, establish camp somewhere safe. You can resume your travels in the next morning. While at an encampment, you can use the facilities of the Golden Runner like usual, but you can also reminisce about the journey with your allies. Give it a try. I don't feel like reminiscing about my journey, to be perfectly honest. Our first time camping in the Gauntlet Runner. I'm kinda excited, but it will be a long night, so why not spend some time relaxing with someone? Okay. Well, we could go talk with Stroll for a boost in imagination. What does talking with Neuras though?
Your thoughts?
Ha! How was that ride, eh? Smooth as butter? Luxurious as a palace? Awe-inspiring tear-jerking? Absolutely. Ha! The runner is such a guilty pleasure. Though credit where it's due, my Tinker certainly helped make her what it is. Though, full disclosure, that's all thanks to the little mechanism I whipped together that keeps her legs from sinking into the dunes. We don't have to worry about the Ren if she could just fly, but that's story for another day. Once you go, better to get your 40 wings. Like, off you go. Okay. It is very nice. And, like, you weren't here last week when I said this. They did some, like, very big optimizing between, like, at some point. There was probably an update. Neurons is a secret boss. I don't know about that. But, like, the game is, like, super stable. It's always on 60 FPS, which was actually a problem, like, when we were playing the demo in the first couple of weeks of the game. But, like, they've done some really nice upgrades, I suppose. They did a good work, and, like, the game runs way better. Even in town, like, even in the town where that was, like, full of people, the game never goes below 60 FPS. It's extremely smooth, and it's extremely impressive. Alright, what would speaking with Stroll do?
Hey.
Hey, are you looking for something to do? My weapons are sharp as they are going to get, and I'm not up to much. Can you keep me company for a while? By recalling the past and planning for the future with Stroll, maybe I can hone my imagination. Not right now. Let's see what...
Yep.
Oh, apparently you can eat these bugs. Well, according to Hackenberg anyways. I should try and catch one. Oh, we actually did get one. I caught one of the bugs gathered by the campfire. When it's my turn to cook, I should use it as an ingredient. Okay, Halkenberg is about to have a very nasty surprise, I suppose. Well, we could reminisce with Stroll. Like, where would Halkenberg be? I think Halkenberg is probably sleeping in this one. We could read. Oh no, never mind. She's right here. And we could also reminisce to increase our imagination. I mean, if we're reminiscing, we might as well reminisce with Stroll, right? In a place where it's, like, prettier.
Hey. No,
never mind, we came down here. We could have reminisced with Halkenberg in just the same place. And we're drinking milk. So next up is Martina. It feels like just yesterday when I first arrived on the royal capital. So much has happened in such a short span of time. I met you, we went over to the northern fortress and awakened a mysterious power. I once thought magic like this has only existed in heroic tales of times long past.
Speaking of
which, I've been thinking that perhaps this is the same power that the hero kings once used. Is that the case? If that's the case, then why do you think so many of them met miserable ends? They had no allies.
What's that about?
Maybe they lacked allies?
Oh, I see.
Oh, he really liked that idea. I see. Try as they might, even the strongest king wouldn't be able to establish a country by himself. Perhaps it's not a matter of how much power you have, but how you choose to wield it. Moreover, we've got more than one power at our disposal, and on top of that, we've got allies who share these abilities as well. If you continue to master these archetypes, then maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to surpass the great kings of old. Though all this does make me wonder, just how many more of these powers are still out there? I felt my imagination grow as Troll and I discussed the challenges still ahead of us.
Alright.
Oh, high imagination increase, okay. Come now, it's too early for bed, let's talk some more. Stroll and I talked for a while.